All right, hey, what's up all you artists out there? Today we are going to learn how to walk through some steps of getting this awesome tree design going in Procreate. This is gonna be your next project. It's just a simple silhouette of a tree with this really cool kind of tiled, colorful background. It looks pretty tricky in the end, but couple easy steps and you're going to be able to make this, and you can kind of put your own little spin and twist into the color if you want, and obviously how you draw your tree. But I think this is going to be a fun project for you. So when we're ready to go, we're going to go back out to the gallery page and we're going to go ahead and create a new canvas. So hit this plus button, and if you don't have a preset one that's set for 8.5 by 11, we'll go ahead and hit a new canvas and create that canvas size 8.5 by 11. I'll just do that to show you those steps. Remember to change it to inches. And up here, we're gonna go 8.5 by 11. And then I'm gonna create. And there's our blank canvas. Okay, we are going to utilize different layers today. And again, over here, remember, is your layers. For one, we're going to start, we're going to just go on layer one. I'm just going to use black as my color. And I'm actually going to go to calligraphy. And I'm going to select monoline because I want the same thickness of a nice solid black line. I'm actually just going to drag that all the way to the bottom, so it's going to be a fairly thin line. You can use your Apple Pencil for this, you can use your finger, but you're essentially just going to draw a big circle right in the middle. And when I draw it, I'm going to hold at the end, and it's going to snap it to a nice, clean, precise oval. And then up at the top, you'll see it says Edit Shape, and I can click that and change it to an exact circle. So it'll look like this. Circle, hold it, it snaps, and then I can edit shape, and I can do ellipse, or for this case, I want it to be a circle. And that's my circle, okay? Click off of it to lock it in. Show you that again. Remember, 2 fingers, you can tap and undo. Circle, oh, move my iPad. Circle, hold it, it'll snap. Edit shape, select circle. If you did that and it's a little bit smaller, we want it to kind of fill most of the page. You can come up here to this little arrow and click that. And as long as it's on uniform, you don't want to do freeform because then you're going to change the dimensions of the circle. It'll be an oval then. So as long as it's on uniform, you can actually enlarge that circle. And you want to just kind of arrange it in the top. We're going to have a little bit more of a gap at the bottom because remember, we're going to be drawing a tree. Okay. Once you have that, go over to the layers, and I want to draw a tree, or start to draw a tree now, but I want to do it on a separate layer. So I'm going to go ahead and push the plus and add a layer. And it's all right if it's above the circle. Actually works better that way. We're still going to use black for this. But now I'm gonna change my brush. I'm gonna go to inking, and I really like to use the studio pen because that's gonna give me, still give me a nice clean black, kind of like a black pen or marker line. But the studio pen's nice because I can adjust the width. If I have an Apple Pencil, this is gonna work really well for this. I will show you how to do it with just your finger or a regular stylus as well. But now essentially you want to draw your tree, and it's going to start from the bottom, and you're going to draw that tree up, and it's going to kind of fall within this circle then. All the branches are going to stay in that circle. And remember, this is on a separate layer than the circle. We don't want to draw on the same layer as the circle. Add a layer, draw your tree on that new layer. So I'm going to go about that thickness, and I'm just going to start to kind of draw my tree up. And the Apple Pencil is really nice because if I release the pressure that I'm pushing, you can see how I can get a thin line. So I'll show you that again. Pressing hard, and then I can release to get it thin. And then I can come back in and I can thicken up the base. If I don't have an Apple Pencil, I can do that with my finger. I just can't release the pressure to change the thickness. So I might actually just start at the top and draw a line down. And then I'm gonna have to come back. I can zoom in a little, well, actually I'll leave it so you can see the full thing. Come back at the top, and now I'm gonna follow that line down, but I'm gonna let it get thicker at the base, right? And then I can just drag and color it in, okay? So either way, if I wanna do that with my finger, then each branch is gonna be about the same idea. I'm gonna start out here at the circle and I'm gonna draw a branch in. And then I'm going to follow that branch and let it get a little bit thicker as it comes into the tree. And then I can color it in, okay? I really enjoy using this Apple Pencil, if you have one. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my tree with that. And I'm just gonna draw my tree trunk, add a little bit of thickness at the base. And then I'm gonna start to come up and draw my branches, and I can release that thickness, and you can see how it starts to get really thin. It's okay if it starts below the circle, as long as when I come up into the circle, I stop at that outside. And I'm just gonna draw some branches, and obviously as I get taller or higher on that tree trunk, my branches should get thinner, right? Then off of those branches, I wanna draw some smaller branches. And this is where you can kind of just lose track of time, and you can just kind of have some fun and start drawing in a bunch of branches. Obviously at the top, you wanna make them nice and thin. Another one in the middle here. And really what your tree looks like is up to you. Okay, so notice how all my branches are kind of growing up and out, and then they stop at that circle, okay? Try to avoid having a tree trunk and then branches growing straight off the sides. That's a little bit more rigid, it doesn't look as realistic. So try and have your branches kind of growing up and out from that original tree trunk, okay? Once you draw a tree, what I would like to encourage you to do, just like when in class when we folded up the paper to draw different monsters or a variety of different designs, I want you to do the same thing for this. But now, since we're using Procreate, I can actually come to layers, and I'm going to add a layer on top of that tree. And then I'm gonna go back to my tree layer, and I'm just gonna click this box, and it's gonna hide my tree. Now I'm on the new layer, and I'm gonna draw a different tree. Maybe this one I'm gonna do like a real curvy kind of bonsai looking tree. And you can kind of have some fun here. And you can, if you want, you can get online and do some research and look up different types of trees. And you can kind of base your design off of some trees that you find. But really, I want you to do, just like in class with the folded paper, I want you to do anywhere from, I don't know, 5 to 6 to 7 different tree designs. And those are all gonna be on different layers. So I want you to just kind of play around with it, have some fun. Different layers. Once I draw that one, hide it, add a layer, try a different tree. Maybe this one's more straight. Okay, you get the idea. So work on this first. You're gonna have your circle, one layer, and then a bunch of layers of trees. And then the next video, we're gonna start talking about how we're gonna do that colorful background, okay? All right, have fun, enjoy, and I'll see you next video.